Hey guys, how's it going? So big surprise, it's spring break right now for me at my school. Most of you guys are at the school. There might be some people that aren't that view this, so it's spring break right now. And it is the Saturday where I record videos. That's actually just a weird coincidence that I would make a video today. But But it is spring break, so I'm going to be making a few more videos than I normally would. Not today, but over the course of the break, because it's a 10-day break. So I'm going to have plenty of free time to make as many videos as I'd like or not like to do. But I'm going to have to ask you guys, you person watching this, please comment or send me a message about any kind of topic that you think is worth talking about. Tell me to, and I'll give you my opinions on it. And I will tell you, yay, I can use this, thanks for the idea. Or I'll tell you, no, I'm sorry, I really don't think that's a good idea. I don't think I should talk about this. This is not something that I'd really like to talk about. So, on to the actual topic that we're going to be talking about today. It is the legalization of marijuana, but I'm also going to connect it to the legalization of all drugs. The legalization of marijuana idea was brought to you by my buddy Jackson. So, thank you for the great idea, Jackson. Really good. Now, on to the actual discussion. Uh, it is in my opinion that it's good. It's a better idea for America to actually legalize the drugs that we currently have made illegal because for a multitude of reasons. The first is that this is a country where we tell you you can choose whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy is what's important. Well, when we make drugs illegal, we're basically saying, actually, no, we can't trust you enough to do things safely. And it's true. Some people really do misuse drugs, and some people are just crazy. They go crazy for the drugs. They become incredibly addicted, and this is it's true. But there are also people that will not misuse drugs. There are people that don't become addicted to drugs. They just use it every once in a while just to get just to have a little bit of fun. That's what they're called, recreational drugs. They use them for recreation, for fun. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I myself have never used drugs before. I've never gotten high. I've never done anything like that, even though I probably look like a stoner. I've never done anything like that before. So, I really don't think that there's a problem with it. Unless, of course, it's taken to an excess. I think that there is a problem when people start to use it way too much. But it's their life to live. It's their decision whether or not they want to get crazy high all the time. Well, that's their business. If they hurt somebody else, alright, then it's a problem. Then something has to be done about it. But I don't believe it should then be made illegal for everybody because people do misuse it. Also, particularly, well, this is really only for marijuana. As far the research that I've been able to find and the things that I've been able to read up about it, marijuana really isn't that damaging. Of all the drugs, it's pretty much the lowest damaging compared to cigarettes, alcohol, anything else that you can really think of. As far as I've been able to sorry, not show, see. Perhaps, I'm completely wrong about that, and everything I was reading is just dirty lies, but I haven't seen anything that shows otherwise. So, as far as I know, of all the drugs that are currently illegal and legal, marijuana should definitely be legal because it doesn't hurt, it doesn't damage people the same way that cigarettes just kill you terribly, the way that alcohol just messes with your brain, and the way that all other drugs seem to damage you after a while. As far as I've been able to find, marijuana doesn't have effects like that. But that's what I've been able to find, and maybe that's wrong. The only thing that I know for sure does eventually damage you is smoking it. But that's because of the smoke, not because of the actual drug in marijuana. The thing that's actually affecting you. But that's what I've been able to find. Maybe there's something different about that. If you can show me something else that's different, maybe this whole video is then therefore wrong. but I haven't found any information like that. Now, uh, let's look at the main thing in cigarettes, nicotine. Nicotine is something that, as far as I've known, nicotine is something that is actually used in some countries as a pesticide on their crops, but we still allow it to be put into our cigarettes, and we still let people smoke that. If we're allowing something that deadly to be smoked by your average person, but something like marijuana that as far as I've been able to find, is not damaging to you, why? What's the logic behind that? Same thing with alcohol. Alcohol it's a poison. It really is a poison. And it's 100% pure form. You drink it, you're going to die. And that's the way that it is. You're pretty much going to die. Slim chance you might survive. But it's still very, very damaging to you, but that's legal. And I believe in America we're seeing the same problem that we did in the, early, oh geez, when was it? Very late 1800s, early 1900s, I believe, was when Prohibition was. We saw Prohibition, which is where they stopped, where we stopped the selling of alcohol. We made that illegal. Well, guess what? It created the mobsters. It basically created the gangsters that we've all heard of. Not the gangsters where they sag their pants, but the actual gangsters. The ones that Al Capone. He made all of his money illegally making and selling alcohol. And there's a reason why they made it legal again, because prohibition doesn't work. There's a reason why in America drugs are still sold on the street just as easily as anything else that's sold on the street. Because prohibition just doesn't work. It simply doesn't. We can't stop drugs from being sold. And if we try to, we're really just, if we're going to make drugs illegal, we're really just putting dangerous things and dangerous markets into even darker and more dangerous markets. We're putting them into the hands of criminals to make and sell. And if you're going to do that, that's very dangerous for the people that try to buy those drugs. That's just a horrible idea. If by we I mean the government, if we made it legal and regulated, and we had like the FDA regulate everything with drugs, I really don't think there would be a problem. I mean, sure, it's still a problem with people getting high and getting drunk when they're driving, but that's always going to be a problem. People are going to be stupid enough to do that, and there's really no way that we can get around that. I mean, if we're going to say that drugs are dangerous and drugs are bad, okay, we're going to say that that's wrong, okay. You can definitely say that they're dangerous and people will get high and get drunk behind the wheel of a car, and it does lead to deaths in America. This is true. I'm not arguing that. But then, if we're going to argue then that is the reason why we should make drugs illegal, then why the hell do we still have cars? People do plenty well killing each other with cars without getting high or drunk. They're just not good at driving. They're 2-ton machines of death here, people, but they're still completely legal. I don't understand that. There's still plenty of people that die every year because of driving. But we don't make driving illegal. But we make drugs illegal because people get high and crash their car. Do you see the problem here? It doesn't make sense. As well, there's a little thing in pretty much everything that we drink. If any of you drink coffee, if any of you drink any kind of pop, or if you live somewhere else, soda, called caffeine. People die every year of caffeine withdrawals. But nobody's saying, let's make caffeine illegal. It's still a drug. Caffeine is still a drug that can still kill people, but it's still legal. But we like caffeine. It couldn't have been, 20 minutes ago that I finished a can of Coke. I really don't have a problem with caffeine. And honestly, one day, because I want to experience the world, I want to experience pretty much everything the world has to offer. One day, I want to go mountain climbing. One day, I want to go into a cave. Well, aside from mammoth caves. One day, I want to skydive. I want to surf. I want to experience everything the world has. I want to go canoeing. I want to go hunting. I want to try these great things in the world. And one day, when hopefully people will see that we need to allow your average person to at the very least try these things, try these drugs, and not have them illegal for it, one day I too will try marijuana. Because I want to experience it. I want to experience what it's like. I want to see what the world has to offer. I want to see everything the world has to offer, regardless of whether or not it might be damaging. And I think that that's the way that everybody views things here in America. It could hurt me, but I could have a ton of fun along the way. I mean, everybody at school asks me, "Hey, Jake, when are you going to start driving? Did you start driver's training?" No, not yet. But one day, I too will get into a 2-ton death trap and start driving around. Because it's a part of life. It's another part of life. And I think it's very important. And I'm going to leave you all with a quote from a guy, if any of you have watched Mythbusters, named Adam Savage. And I'll put a link right there in the description where I got this quote from the Reason Rally, where he was speaking at it. Really smart. I think, and this is the exact quote, I think making drugs illegal is stupid and damaging to us as a people. And I agree with that statement completely. Alright, thanks guys. Give me your ideas for another video. Have a good one. Don't get too high or drunk, especially while driving. Bad decisions. Have a good one. Happy Easter.